Rolling Stone, who for so many years indulged so many hippies and put down the music of bands like Kiss and Led Zeppelin, who now have gone on to big things, some of them. But nonetheless, you have to remember, and I'm going to encourage Adam, John, and Hardy to remember that this is indeed Rolling Stone magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not, it's not breaking the, it's not, Discord Records guys and stuff like that. Like, these are fairly mainstream operations. I mean, I think everything here is a major label, and maybe fairly so. It is the 50. I heard someone talking about this, and I found it interesting, and I would like to get your opinion of this. The 50 most disappointing albums of all time. I'll get it out of the way. There's not much past 2000. All right. So
Okay.
In fact,
All right.
I will give you the one that's past 2000 I see.
I was gonna guess one.
You'll never guess it. Your Chance the Rapper's The Big Day.
Oh no, I was gonna guess the Kanye album, the really weird one. Yeah, was it Ye?
Okay, there is a Kanye West album. From 2016. You're right.
There you go.
Was that? Oh,
it's called The Life of Pablo.
Oh no, I would have said the one after that, but okay.
Yeah, it'd be slightly hard to remember now, but there was a time before he destroyed his name by going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. That's quote unquote. When the new Kanye West record was a source of tremendous excitement. He had the college dropout in Yeezus, and then my beautiful dark twisted fantasy, and then 2016 The Life of Pablo. People say that's not good, I guess. They were disappointed by that.
Okay.
But there is, there's a couple things from past 2000.
Okay.
But not a lot.
All right. That helps.
Yeah, I wish I'd known that going in, because my first guess is kind of...
Well, I mean, there are things from past 2000. There's not a lot.
No, I mean like the whole Rolling Stone major label thing, because, Fred, I'll be honest with you, I was going to go Shelter's 1990 Perfection of Desire. I mean, you had Ray Cappo, Ray of Today from Youth of Today, very highly anticipated. What's he going to do after Youth of Today? And he does this Hare Krishna crap.
Well, that's what Youth of Today was.
They weren't Krishna.
Oh, he certainly was. Him and the guitar player were Krishna.
No Shelter.
Krishna consciousness.
Is this 12's idea of a joke?
It's an in joke with me and Fred. We
Yeah.
were literally just talking about this last
you
week.
too.
It is the band Shelter that came from Youth of Today,
Yes.
which was a Krishna core band.
Yes.
They were on a major label.
They were. They
Very
did.
big in Brazil.
Yeah. Yep.
I just heard the Ray Cappo album. He's a monk now in upstate New York.
All right.
They still play out?
Shelter or Youth of Today?
Shelter.
Okay.
12 and I were talking about this for literally 30 seconds. We both had one guess right off the bat. You want that one, 12?
No, take it.
Guns N' Roses, Chinese Democracy.
Yes, of course. Chinese Democracy is number 5.
Wow.
Whoa.
How many total on the list?
50.
Oh, I already have the
What did
number.
they have to say about it? Because I'm curious. Because what was it, 12 years in the making this album was before it was finally released?
Yeah, in hindsight, it was slightly crazy to expect anything spectacular from Guns N' Roses by the time Chinese Democracy hit shelves in November of 2008. Their 1999 song "Oh My God" from the End of Days soundtrack was profoundly unexciting. So I guess that was the last new music they had released. If you want to hear someone just eviscerate Guns N' Roses,
Eddie Trunk.
No, he's friends with Slash.
Oh, okay.
He's promoting his new blues group. It's Jason Newsted from Metallica. He talks about touring with Guns N' Roses, and he puts it. He puts their career in pretty good perspective. He's like, we opened because we knew we were going to go on time. We didn't want people to be pissed off at us, so we would go on time. And then he said, Axl would go on whenever his, palm reader would say it was okay. And that band had a 2-album run, and then they disappeared. So that band, if they would have just had a little bit of professionalism and Axl Rose wasn't indulged so much, could have been on par with like the Rolling Stones or Metallica for that matter.
Yeah.
Because you can lose a couple members if you're that big a band and still continue at a big part. But I
remember,
can't go. There's just nothing for them to play. If you see them live once, what the hell else are they going to play?
I don't know, but I remember reading about Axl back in the day and the reasons why they would go on hours late. one of Axl's explanations was, I do a lot of running around on stage and I got to have my ankles taped. And, if I go out there, I could get injured. Like, okay, that's 2 minutes.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't tape his ankles before games.
Right.
He does, because it hurt when he was backing up Brett Favre. He knew he was never going to play, and so he would get stiff if he taped his ankles.
Yeah.
So now he never tapes his ankles. So if a 40-year-old professional quarterback is going to NFL games without his ankles being taped, Axl Rose could go into a show without being taped, but he had to wear pants that showed off his seemingly giant penis.
Yeah, right on.
It's funny, the revisionist history, too. Like, I remember doing a piece for Rock 92.9 a couple years ago about that tour.
Oh, we all read it.
Thanks. Guns N' Roses, and Metallica, Faith No More, and Foxborough. And people
course.
Like, oh, yeah, the Guns N' Roses, that was an amazing show. No, it wasn't. They went on like 2 hours late, and half the crowd had left after Metallica because they got sick of waiting around to see Guns N' Roses go.
No. I do have a Metallica guess. It is post-2000, but Saint Anger certainly has to be on the list.
That's
somewhere.
a good guess, Hardy.
I didn't see it. I will look. I don't think Saint Anger is on.
That's loud.
Because when you come out with Load and Reload,
Maybe
there's
Load is the answer.
No, there's no Metallica. And why would Load be the answer? If you come out with Load and Reload, that's the pinnacle of your career.
Thank you.
And no writer is going to go, this is going to get any better than this.
Well,
they finally hit the top of the mountain with Reload.
The true Metallica hardos will tell you that Black is their most disappointing album.
No. Black is not a disappointing album because it led to Reload. Okay. It was part of the path that led you to enlightenment. Like, you can't, if you stray along the way to enlightenment, you still reach enlightenment.
All right, a real guess pre-2000. Do you have 112?
I have actually, I think will be the one. Did you already share the one post? I'm having a trouble
just go ahead.
Just guess.
I think the new Katy Perry album, which got panned
that's ridiculous.
all over the place.
That's
Woman's World.
She's not an artist that would any expectations. Think all-time rock band, obvious choice. All-time rock band, it's an obvious thing. It's number 27 on this list. You might not even get the album, but you'll get the era of the band.
If it's number 27, I don't know if it's all that obvious. Is it Van Halen?
Yes, it's Balanced by Van Halen.
Oh, that's Sharon, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that was easy, and now I take your sarcasm, I fold it up, and I keep it in my pocket for a rainy day. Go ahead, what else?
I have one that's going to upset you, Fred, but if you're going to get a little too cute, funny, fresh with this list, I would put, in terms of a disappointing album, Beastie Boys' Paul's Boutique on the list.
No, that's not going to happen because it's not just based on album sales.
But how disappointed was the label and legions of Beastie Boys fans when they heard Paul's Boutique the first time?
I made friends with David Migdal in high school just precisely, and I wasn't even in high school in 1989, precisely because we were both fans of the album Paul's Boutique.
I'm happy that you made a friend, but please answer my question. How disappointed was the label and many,
the label was
most of Beastie Boys fans?
The label was not overly they were disappointed with how it sold, but they weren't overly disappointed considering there was a big party on the top of the Capitol Records building for the release, and there's still pictures being sent out from it. Like, Capitol Records was all in on that album.
I'm gonna lend you my two books that I have on the making of Paul's Boutique.
A 33 and a third?
Yeah, the Dan Loa.
I have that.
Do you have the follow-up?
No, probably not.
Well, I have it, and I haven't read it.
Okay, very good. So we're on the same page. I read the very disappointing Beasties book and saw the very disappointing.
You can't read that book.
I know it's right. It's like a comic book it's like a bunch of comic books stapled together. Go ahead.
I have one guess. Aerosmith started well, and then they had a really. I'm just saying the late '70s were not good for them. So I'm wondering.
Yes.
I have no idea. There are 2 or 3 albums in there that everyone ignored.
This is
Done with Mirrors. Is that what it is?
Done with Mirrors is a terrible album, and that would have been my guess. So I give you credit for that. But it is not. It's not even a bad album, but it's not
Pump?
No, Pump's a fantastic album. I love Pump. Pump's a fantastic
This
album.
is well gone over material. Yes.
I love the album Pump.
So which
the
album
euphemism for sex? It's from 1977. Draw the Line.
Draw the line. Okay.
By Aerosmith. How'd you know Draw the Line was coming up? Did you look at this list?
No, not at all. I just pulled up something from Done with Mirrors.
Because Draw the Line is one of Aerosmith's great songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do 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 do. when you draw the line. Because when you do coke, you're like, woo!
Is it better than the 10-inch? Because that's
My big 10-inch.
Record.
of my
Oh, he said
favorite
record.
blues.
That's what he's talking about.
Because if you didn't, you'd think penis, and I can't play that on the radio. All right.
How about a Bob Dylan album?
Oh,
like
yeah.
after he went electric or something like that.
I know which one. I know which one.
Okay,
Is
go
there
ahead.
one on there?
Yes, it's three. It's number 3.
Okay, it's the Jesus one from 1989 that's called Slow Train Coming. Is that
No,
the one?
it's from 1970.
Okay, all right, I'm off.
And you guys are not. Are you guys Bob Dylan fans? Because I don't know anything about this. It's self-portrait.
No, I'm not.
Oh, self-portrait.
Grail Marcus did not like it. Grail Marcus, who has very interesting books on music, if you are a complete dork who doesn't like anything entertaining, penned the most famous review in the history of rock criticism. What is this S? is what he said. All right. I can take a couple more guesses, and then I will fill the audience in if you haven't Googled it already. If you are in your car driving.
Spinal Tap's "We Are All Flower People." After the that is in the liner notes for the original Spinal Tap.
You guys have
album.
mentioned one of these albums recently.
Is it a Beach Boys album?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Is it Smile?
Smiley Smile.
Smiley
1960
Smile.
That's their pet sounds.
Nice.
All right. Think of bands that the Rolling Stone magazine would very much like. You're gonna. I mean, obviously, Yes's "Tales from the Topographic Oceans" is on there at number 9. But think of just very, very famous artists. This leads to be very, very famous.
Is there a Who album on there?
I believe so, but let's. Because I'm having trouble getting
face dances.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but even more obvious
Or the
than
one with
that.
Eminence Front. That's a one from
That's a
81,
put on.
right?
But that was a put on.
That is Athena on it. That one.
That's a good album.
That's a good album.
I like it,
The
but
album, it's hard.
it's hard, yes, thank
There
you.
you go.
All right, go ahead.
How about you too?
Yes, U2 is on here.
Good job. Which but what album? Oh, the
Zeropa?
Zeropa.
Zeropa.
All right, let me. It is a U2 album on here, and as I scroll, you'll have to bear with me because if I don't scroll this way, they
were
disappear.
They were doing great, and then they released this, and they released it in Kmart. You remember this? They didn't put. That was the thing.
Staying
Zeropa's-
true to their punk roots.
Yes, I know.
All right. We are getting
Exclusive release for Kmart, Hardy.
there. Which is what all great
Which
albums
is, you
are.
know what, better than shoving it on everybody's iPhone when they didn't ask for it. Do you remember how
I do
pissed
remember
off
that.
people
Yes,
got,
I
me
got that
included?
too. Yeah.
Stop this.
Yep.
Every time I open my iTunes, a U2 song would play.
Yep, I remember
Stop
that.
it. I don't want it.
Hardy, were you at BCN when we gave away the U2 iPod, like that as a promotion, or was that before you got there?
Oh, that was a
had the whole-
99X thing. We did
We had
that
the whole,
too.
yeah, I think a lot of stations did. We had the whole catalog on there.
Yeah,
20 years ago, man.
Suffice it to say, there's a U2 record on here. All right, go ahead. Keep going. I keep guessing.
Just pretend it's Zeropa.
It's not Zeropa because it's not the. That's not
Who
the
else
cover.
does Rolling Stone just sweat, and then they would be disappointed by something that they did? It's
We were talking about one of these bands, a more modern band, the other day too. There's a. I mean,
I'm gonna go Weezer Pinkerton because no, okay,
because that's considered
it's
a good
fan
album.
favorite, but
Songs
it
of
was panned
Innocence
when it came out.
Songs
Oh,
of Innocence
okay.
is the U2 album.
Oh.
When I scroll,
Good,
it's
it
very
stinks.
difficult
What year
because the
was
things
this?
don't come up. Now you're asking questions when I already scrolled away.
All right, why
so
don't
you find that on your own time.
Why don't you give us the top two since we already guessed
All
number
right, but
three?
you should be able to guess the bands for the or the artists for the top two.
Okay,
it's
what-
Rolling Stone magazine. I
Can
mean,
you
you guys
give us
are
some
cultured.
kind of a hint,
It's
please?
Rolling Stone magazine. They're pop. It's so obvious the top two bands. It couldn't be more obvious. In fact,
That's
it's a
not a
little
hint.
insulting.
That's not a hint. I'm insulted that you think saying
The
Rolling
audience
Stone is a hint.
The audience is gonna just go, "You fools."
The audience is guessing. I'm getting emails.
Just you're fools. Rolling Stone magazine. The
The
first.
Rolling Stones.
Thank you. The Rolling Stones. You dumbass.
Steel Wheel.
Which album? Oh, Steel Wheels.
No, it's a album from the
Steel Wheels.
60s. Steel Wheels. I mean, they were cooking that.
You're not the only one.
I mean, you have to be disappointed. So something good had to come before it. Like Steel Wheels wasn't like, oh man, like you were riding high, and then Steel Wheels came out. It's the satanic, their satanic majesty's request.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Was that number one or number two?
that was number 2. Number 1 is
Something got to be Beatles related. Is it a Beatles album or is it like
No,
a Paul
there's no-
McCartney piece of crap?
No, it's got to be a solo. It's got to be a solo
Wings.
thing. It's got to be like a Lennon or a Harrison
All
or
right.
something like that. Right?
Oh, Harrison, very good.
Right?
No, but not as much. I'm gonna go John Lennon.
Yeah, what's his first solo album?
I don't know.
Sometime in New York City is the number one.
All right.
John Lennon. If you would have thought about it.
We got there.
Bob Dylan's Self-Portrait's number 3. David Bowie's Tonight from 1984 is number 4. Chinese Democracy is number 5. Bruce Springsteen's Human Touch, which he does not like, is number 6.
Yes.
Smiley Smile, as we discussed, was number 7. Stevie Wonder's Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants from 1973.
Sounds like a Pixar movie.
Songs, I think that came after Songs in the Key of Life.
Yeah, no,
which
that was the
music album.
smash. So he did that one.
Number
Yeah.
9, of course, as we mentioned, Yes's Tales from a Topographic Oceans.
Obviously.
And number 10 was Michael Jackson's Invincible. So there you go. And then there's a Lou Reed record at number 11.
Is there a Grateful Dead album on there,
Yes,
Fred?
the Dylan and Grateful Dead combinations.
Dylan and the Dead.
John, strangely enough, was the best at this. John was the best at this, and because he thought he deduced in your face, Hardy.
Yeah, Hardy.
Powers of deduction based on it being Rolling Stone magazine. He got that going.